Okay, guys, quiet on set, please.
Lower. Camera rolling.
Oh, we've got some time left.
That's interesting.
I think so.
That was nice.
That's nice.
Impossible. Nobody sees.
If you say the shadow one more time.
Cut.
That was
Thank you very much.
So I want to ask, okay, do you know these characters?
Do we know them?
Do you know them?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Are you them? Do you double cross your friend?
Yeah. Yeah, many times. Yeah.
So now I feel like double crossed now. What? What's this?
No, I think the characters definitely have elements of ourselves in them that we've brought to the table. Or I might just put myself on the line.
Oh, yeah, I'm just
like
thinking,
what's similar about your character and who you are?
He thinks he's the shadow.
Yeah. No. It's that.
Do people call you that in real life, the shadow?
Well, when I was younger, yeah. No. It is that thing of you. Whenever you, or I don't know about you, Kyla, but whenever I take on a role, it's about finding what you already have in terms of characteristics that you can use and crank up to 11 to use for that character, and what characteristics that you've got that are like, whoa, no, that doesn't fit the character at all. So it's a case of like selecting what is there, and then.
Yeah, I mean, well, Meisner says, acting is living truthfully under imaginary circumstances. So if I imagine myself to be in the circumstances that Jen found herself in with George, then perhaps I would behave in the same way. But as I'm not, and I'm just Kyla Frye, and I'm just here, trying to make a difference in the world through my acting and so on. No, but I guess there are a little bit of similarities. I guess the dry humanness that my character has, I have got that streak in me, I'd say. Yeah, but yeah.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
So does Kyla have this dry streak? You don't seem that.
This dry streak.
Dry streak.
No. Talk about it, girl.
Yeah. No, I think there's definitely some of you in Jen.
Yeah, and some of you and George.
Yeah.
Well, let's go, because you've obviously already brought up the shadow. Let's not leave the viewers out. So the shadow is a nickname that you have.
Yeah.
Well, George, the
yes,
character.
the character has
Yeah.
in the film.
Yeah.
So where did shadow come from for George?
It was something when we did some kind of improv and kind of like, rehearsing, kind of imagining what the characters would interact like, what the conversation would be like, and we kind of got their history and worked out that they had certain phrases, certain things, certain kind of in-jokes and things like that. And it is, I mean, the shadow, the actual phrase, I think I probably got from, well, there's loads of things called the shadow in like fiction, but I always remember there was a film it's based on a comic character called The Shadow, which was it was an Alec Baldwin film in '94. But yeah, the shadow is just that kind of, it's a kind of universal like,
because it was like the
mystery, international man of mystery kind of
it.
thing. So that's the kind of, a little bit of Austin Powers in there of like, well, George thinks he is that guy like in real life. And it is that laddish thing of like when you feel like you're doing good. And
but I also think, with these type of films, you always have a code name or an agent name or that sort of thing. And the fact that we're so used to seeing these names in these type of films, the fact that our film is almost a play on that, where he would have been called the Shadow, but not in this film, not this character, not you. It's not. That's not what this is. It's real, but it's still got the kind of.
It's almost like a '60s vibe as well of like, like kind of going back to like even like The Man from U.N.C.L.E., the film that's just out now. That kind of TV kind of high stakes, like your code name, whether it be 007 or The Shadow or...
Because we had Black Widow, for me it was a Black Widow, damsel in distress.
Yeah.
So
that was the idea.
A whole host of names.
For both of ourselves,
Just Jen, you're not that convinced though by the concept of The Shadow.
No, because it's just
in
the character, it was just... I think it's brilliant because she always feels like, she's one step ahead of everybody. And he thinks so, but he's overconfident, but still manages to deliver sort of thing. So the fact that he calls himself that, who calls themselves their own nickname? Who does that?
Yeah.
But he does. So that's, who can be convinced by someone who calls themselves by their own nickname?